Hello, hello, and welcome. I keep wanting to say we're Blackbird Poker. We are we are in the world of global poker, but to all you out there, it's Poker Bob. I'm gonna put myself on big blind view. Tonight we are playing. We've late regged to a 10K guaranteed super bounty. I registered late. They say you're not supposed to do that in in bounties, but I mean we look pretty good as far as there's like one stack that's significantly bigger than us. All the rest of the table is right at or around us, so I'm not super worried. We did okay. We didn't. It's not not a disaster. I did have one ticket that I wanted to use, as you know. I bought five. I've bricked the first four. I don't think I've made any sort of significant headway in anything. I don't know if I even made it to the end of late reg in any one of them. I'll have to go back and watch the tape. Um, but we're here. We're in our final, what should be our final Grizzly Games. If I'm feeling up to it Sunday night, we might just might just buy into one last event, but it might largely depend on how we do today. I'm becoming a fan on this site of I'm becoming a fan of making sure that the titles whatever. I don't want to like have the title for this like go all the way up to the top, like the border of the. I'm just gonna fold of the screen here. Whatever, we adjusted it. Grizzly Games. I've been sort of what is it? I've been playing more and getting more familiarized with the format of the rebuy add-on tournaments on this site. A lot of them are like the brawl, or they call it the brawls, but they have others as well that aren't in that like brawl thing. But they're mostly 10-minute blind levels. You get about, I want to say, 100 big blinds to start. Like usually a 2K starting stack with blinds at 10 and 20. And then they go up to 20, 40, 30, 60. And then after that third level, no more entries, but there's another half hour or three levels of rebuys, unlimited rebuys. And then at the end of that, at the end of level 6, there is an add-on for usually the buy-in minus the fee. The rebuys don't have the fee either. It's great value. So I've been doing a lot of those with the strategy being just hang on until the end of the rebuy period, because the add-on is essentially for 20 big blinds, because at the next level, the level after that, it's usually 6,000 chips they give you, and the blinds after that are 300, 600. So is that right? No, I'm sorry, 150, 300. It's 20 big blinds for the next level. So even if you have like half a blind left, you really got to make it to the end of that rebuy period, unless you think that would be a profitable venture to go all in with that, with your remaining blinds, and then rebuy for a full starting stack of 2,000 and then add on. But with the blinds at 150, 300 and the starting stack being 2,000, that's 6 point whatever bigs, and then you're adding on 20. I think it's just a better play financially for your bankroll to just kind of hang on to what you have and just do the add-on. It's worked okay so far. I played one yesterday morning and got fourth, I believe. Third would have been a lot better. There was a hand where so we're already down to 49 bigs here. See, I got to remind myself that we're not in any kind of rebuy add-on tournament here. We can re-enter to a certain point at the end of level 6, where I think I'm level 4 now. Whoops, up to us. Sorry. Um, Played one yesterday morning. Should have got. There was a when we were on the bubble. I had ace queen off, like under the gun +1. Under the gun made it bumped it up to 2, and I was just trying to play tight. I think I had about 15 bigs left, and I didn't really ace queen off. Just like with so early to act, kind of just scares me a little bit. So I just simply folded, went all the way around to the button, who jammed with his like 13 big blinds or so. Um, the pre-flop razor obviously called. I was out of there. The pre-flop razor had ace-6 suited. The button had pocket tens. There was a queen on the flop. I would have held, knocked out that player, which would have just it would have put me. I would have gotten. I ended up in fourth. I would have at least gotten third. I mean, obviously things would have shaken out differently after that, but I would have had a lot of chips. So I should have gotten at least third and maybe even won the thing. But such is life. Um, we're just gonna keep grinding, keep working at it. Hopefully, get some cards in this bounty. I'm not great at bounties. I think I played a bounty earlier in this series. I want to say the first or second one, and I just am not great at. I don't know. It's like when there aren't any bounties, I am better at knocking people out, but I haven't been so lucky or fortunate or whatever. So here we are. Just gonna, as I do every night, I am going to text some friends to see if we can get some viewers because right now we don't have any, but that's okay because this is gonna record and post on YouTube for the whole world to see. Um, after we've completed here. Um, my brother is texting me about the new Patriots documentary on Apple TV. Is it Apple Plus or Apple TV Plus? We just got a 1 month membership to binge watch one of Jonna's favorite shows, the morning show, which they only make a new season every 2 years. It's kind of a weird thing because by the time it comes back around, you forget what happened, and not that you can't rewatch it, but who has that kind of time? We certainly don't. So yeah, kind of forget half the stuff, and the pacing's a little different, and I don't know. It's a pretty good show, but I don't know if it was a COVID thing. Like the first season came out in the fall of 2019, um, and then I don't know if maybe the next season got delayed due to COVID, and they thought, hey, wasn't so bad. We had viewers come back because they did the second season the fall of 2021, and then fall of this year they started releasing season three. We wanted to wait until they were done releasing new episodes, so that because we don't have Apple TV, so we just wanted to get 1 month of it, binge it, and be done. So the new Patriots documentary is out, so we will probably, well, I will at least watch it. I don't know if Jonna will, but so if we break out of this one, and it's still relatively early, it has been a long day. I wouldn't mind cutting this out early, but if it's early enough, we'll see if we can jump into a brawl type rebuy add-on tourney. We do have a subscriber out there, a friend of the channel. We'll call him a friend of the channel. We have a few friends. We have a friend of the channel out there playing on Ignition tonight. Um, he doesn't stream, at least. If you've ever watched Mike J, he would record some like zone poker, like Ignition zone poker or Bovada zone poker on his phone. and then post like 5 or 6 minute videos sometimes less. Um, Kind of cool. I mean, if you just want to sit there and watch, it's perfect because he records it on his phone. So if you're watching on your phone, it fills the whole screen in the portrait mode, which some people that's how they like to watch content on their phones. We've got Jack 10 in middle position. I gotta get a better setup here. I mean, this isn't so bad, but I don't have a very sturdy desk here. You see my work stuff behind me, but this I just have like kind of a temporary setup here. I say temporary. There is going to be no permanent. There is going to be no permanent setup because I'm just. Oh man, I'm sorry. I hope I don't yawn a lot today. There is. This is the setup because my wife and I share an office. She's not currently working. She's hanging out with the baby, who's almost 3. Um, so it's really just me. So I took advantage of that, and I threw a little um, smaller kind of desk from IKEA that's easy to take apart. It's really just a little table, but I bought it when I bought the house. It's cheap. It's IKEA, you know. Bought that and a really horrible office chair when I first bought this house. But since she moved in, we've since upgraded and gotten nicer setups. But I just put this on the side of the room where there's a little bit of room. I don't mind it. It kind of cramps me a little bit more than her side, but I did promise her that when she is back to work and we both share an office, that I will break this whole thing down. But by then, I may be able to do something in the basement. Maybe we'll see. Or I guess I could move my work office, back to the basement like I was. I mean, kid, our kid like has a play area down there, so there's not really any room. But at some point, she's not going to need a play area. So one day, we'll see. But for now, we can do some live streams and it'll be cool. Want to remind everybody real quick, please like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends. Curious to know your feedback on our whole setup here. I think I've cleaned up the layout of the stream pretty well. I got rid of those borders on the game and the webcam. I just went with a plain black background, just everything in its own box, and you know, we don't. I mean, if I could find, I know they're out there, but I don't want to pay for anything. Just very little like lines, boxes that like the the the, the border I had around it earlier, it was just a little too thick and busy, and if I could get like just a little like light, like a little pinpoint of light almost around it. They're out there. If I was gonna use, like, I'm doing YouTube just because I feel like the algorithm is a little bit better for what I'm trying to do, and if I was on Twitch exclusively, I might even use like Twitch Studio because it's a little bit I feel like it's just a little bit more user friendly, but it just rips your hard drive. Your processing just really. I did get a new desktop. I was using my laptop up until like Christmas, and it's just tough. I would try to use Twitch Studio and it wasn't happening. Streamlabs, then I used OBS, and that was a little bit better, but still like would crash. Then I moved over to Streamlabs, which Streamlabs is pretty good. Um, I don't love it, but it's good for what I need. Rarely crashes. It was crashing with my laptop a little bit, but on the desktop it seems to work fine. I think maybe I had one issue at some point. Actually, was it the last video? Did I crash? Did I crash the last video? Yeah, I think I did actually. Um, I don't think I downloaded anything new, or I started to download Ignition, and then like some kind of antivirus software on this thing that came with it said that there's. I mean, I don't know, bad mouth Ignition. I honestly, it was just a pop up. I don't even know what antivirus software it was. It just said warning, there may be this and this, and so I was like, you know what, I'll just play on the browser. So I actually just play Ignition on Chrome, the Chrome browser, which is honestly fine. It's the same. I mean, Ignition's really good. It's pretty like all their site, whether it's the desktop app, a desktop site, mobile site, tablet, tablet site, it all is pretty much the same. There might be a couple more features on the desktop application, but the mobile and tablet and uh, the desktop, browser site, they're all pretty similar and they do pretty much everything you need. It's just a little bit easier. Like if you want to make very specific bets, like 2.25 big blinds or 4.5 bigs or whatever, it's a little bit easier to do that. It's a lot easier to do that on a desktop. On the mobile site, you gotta click on it, and sometimes it just like highlights it and doesn't actually like let you type anything, and then like the keyboard has to pop up, and you gotta be there, and all trying to do that while the time is ticking away. It can be a little bit cumbersome and stressful, so sometimes I just round up my bets a little bit, but that could cost you in the long run. Actually, I found playing global on my phone is easier than my tablet because if I want to do something like that, like place a bet. I thought I was able to do it. We'll just see a flop. Ooh, that's pretty good. We like spades and we can get a bounty here. 2, 3, 4. We don't have a gut shot or anything. We're straight spades here with an overcard. Ugh, I hate having to call off draws. Yuck. It's just so yuck. Does he have a 10? Do we overbet jam? No, I don't think so. I think we've played one hand, and it just seemed like such a good spot in position, blind versus blind. Should we have made it interesting? Should we have jammed on the turn? I don't know. He felt strong. A 10 was certainly in his range. That sucks. Yeah, the Grizzly hasn't gone so well, but yeah, Ignition has some pretty good software. But I found that it's a little bit easier to play on my phone on global because it's a good like full screen version on like the Safari browser, my iPhone. So I can play a little bit of that while I'm doing other stuff. Let's just, I don't know, let's just smash a flop or just take this down. Yeah, we need to, because blinds are 10 minutes. It's nothing like super quick, but because, online, you see more hands. Foxwoods used to have, I feel like they had 10-minute blind, maybe not. I'm trying to think, because I used to play a lot of tournaments at Foxwoods for the first, 15 or so years I'd go there. And I feel like their turbos were 15 minutes and their blind levels were usually 20, which isn't unreasonable. My queen hold up here? 10, nope, no. Bounty. Not that we'd be in there. Yeah, so now, see, this is why we got to really protect our stack more, and it's so frustrating. But we've been folding for the first, however, I'm not timing this. How long have I been? Oh, yeah, no, 15 minutes. First 15 minutes, we were just folding everything. So, like, what do you want me to do? I gotta play something. And now we're heads up and we have a gut shot to a 10. Is it the same guy? It's the same guy, right? He probably just thinks he did raise. Like, do we call off two big blinds for a gut shot? If it was a cash game, of course. Yeah, we're in position. Maybe he checks the turn. Maybe he doesn't have an ace. Maybe he just has like Jack 10 or Jack 9 suited or something, and he's continuing, which he should. That's like you always continue there with the ace, I think. It was like kind of a blockish bet. He might have had kings or queens. We had a king and a queen, so it's unlikely. I just can't. I don't know. I feel like whenever I do that, I'm wrong. Whenever I fold, I'm wrong. All right. Ace 9 suited. It's enough to raise. We've got to get some chips. There's 762 players left in this thing. Haven't even looked. All right. I'm going to 3-bet this guy. I think. I think that's all I can do for a 3-bet. Is he going to try to get it in? Probably. That's why you got to be careful in these bounties. And I don't understand the players going to sleep. I know I've said that before. All right. So having a big stack call might because Wild Chicken I'm 50-50 that I was 50-50 that he was going to jam on me to try to get a bounty. Um, and he's out of position. Here we go. Okay. Oh, he folded. All right. 6-2. It's kind of a jam, right? But do we get called by less? If I make it that just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I think we just leave a few bucks behind. All right. I mean, I don't think betting half pot was useful. And then if we go like if we go like a quarter of a pot, then he's just easy. Then anybody that's beating us is I don't know, 2.5. Is that what the standard is? Do we go bigger in bounties? I don't know. I'm just gonna do 2.5. I need to study. I keep saying I'm reading that Jonathan Little thing, but then life sort of gets in the way. We can't get a bounty here. Two overs. That's a great flop for this guy's range. Do we throw out I think we block bet it and just hope he's got broadways that aren't red. But obviously so much beats us here. All right. All right, we're getting a little bit of respect, and now we pick up eights. Eights like scare me in these tournaments. They're like it's like the very bottom of like what I don't know. I'm oversimplifying it. I'm not explaining it right, but it is like the very bottom of what like you're supposed to call off with. It's like that. It's that middle pair, and it's like just good enough because it's gonna be racing with like all kinds of overcards, any Broadway combos, but then that just introduces more and more pocket pairs. And hey, we win another one. We're on fire. We should bring that back to online, or we should bring that to online poker. The NBA Jam, make 3 shots in a row, and then you're on fire. Win 3 pots in a row in online poker. Get some flames going. I don't know that. I don't think anybody necessarily wants that. Like, I don't want to advertise, hey, I win the last 3 pots. I don't. I want my opponents to not be paying attention and not get clues to how I'm playing. Not that anybody can't win 3 pots, like it just kind of puts a target on your back, if nothing else. So we'll try to figure out how to incorporate NBA Jam into other aspects of online poker, maybe just this stream. Should we do that during like breaks? The breaks are only 5 minutes, but is there like an arcade game, like on a browser, like a browser arcade game that I can jump into, like an NBA final, NBA Jam, like play like a quick 5 minute quarter? Should do that. That would be kind of cool. You can do that. I mean, you can do. I mean, certainly you can do that on Twitch, right? If there was anything like that. Oh shoot! I didn't realize I was in a hand. See, now I'm not paying attention. I should have probably just led on that flop because he just limps. All right. Well, maybe we can put a few bucks out there. Did he backdoor us? Did he have ace X of hearts? That's okay. Well, this is why I need to start paying attention because I should have led the flop, and then if he raises, then I'm out. Bye. Instead, I end up calling, and then putting in. What did I put it on the river? 3 more blinds. So that's like 4.5 blinds that that I really didn't need to. Well, what did I bet? Did he raise? No, but that's right. I didn't call. I have no idea what he had. So I bet. What did I bet on that? I bet 3 on the river. 3.5, 3.2. Either way, now I should have closer to 30 big blinds. I have 25, and there's only 1 stack at the table. Well, there's 2. There's only 1 active stack at the table. No, it's 3. There's 3 stacks I could win a bounty off of. I probably shouldn't worry about that right now. Like, bounties just happen when they do, but yeah, I should be playing just better poker. But you can't really ever escape the fact that the bounties are in play, and like if somebody's jamming on you, they could be calling. They could be jamming on you wide, or they could be calling off blind. They could be calling wide to try to get your bounty. Which, by the way, where are the bounties? It's not a PKO. You just get the bounty. That's cool. I like that. PKOs have gotten so it's just all become progressives. That's all the bounties are. I mean, it's fun because like you can get some really big bounties as the tournament goes along. Oh, okay. I'd like to see a raise and maybe I don't know if I want to see a 3-bet before I act, but a big raise, big like 2.5 to 3 raise. Because here we go. I'm just gonna jam. It's a little bit too much. It should be more like if I had like 10x. That's kind of the max. But again, it's a bounty. We know the big blind's folding anyway. Rennell's. Is it a waste? Nah, we won with ace high. Because the way I've been running, I'd make it 4 bigs. Right? I could make it 4 bigs, have 21 behind. But there's just so many flops that just like I don't know. Like if he's got a hand like 9s or 10, he probably didn't have 9s or 10s. But if he's got a pocket pair and the flop comes all rags, he's probably not going anywhere. And then we only have 2 shots at hitting our overcard. Or if he's got ace X and pairs up with his other card, then not good for us. I don't know. I just figured it's ace king. Let's just get it in. And you know what? If I pick up aces or kings again, if I pick up kings or something and I do that, then somebody might be a little bit more likely to call off, thinking I'm just a joker. I don't know. I don't think it's always a bad play with ace king. Sometimes it's a little aggressive. Sometimes it's overkill or whatever. But that's really how you have to play that hand. I don't know. I might be overly negative today. I went to Foxwoods, and it's I don't know why. I mean, I do know. The thing is, right? So I want to maintain tier status at Foxwoods because you get a couple of benefits by having like gold tier, which is really just the next step from being just a regular whatever it is wonder level, which anybody who walks through the door can get just by existing. So I maintain gold because I don't know. I haven't gotten a hotel offer in that place since the pandemic. I want to say right like the week before the world or 2 weeks before the world shut down. I got like a free room on a Sunday, and it was just me. And I just went down and played poker and lost $200 miserably. And went to Johnny Rockets and then went to bed. My fat, depressing self. And because I think John was living here at the time, and I think did I take I don't even know if I had Monday off. I think I was just selling insurance, so I didn't even really have like a schedule. It did kind of like I'd work at the office on like Tuesdays and Thursdays for like 5 hours, but um, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this was right before the pit, so it was like March of 2020, and yeah, I didn't have to work Monday, so I just got a free room on Sunday, and I went, and it was depressing. It ended up being because I was just it was like right when the new room opened. If you've ever been to the newer room at Foxwoods, it seemed a little like airy and sad at the time. I don't know because I was used to the room downstairs, which was well lit and not like a lot of tables. Usually, like in the later years of the downstairs room, they'd keep everybody in like the middle, going up and down. It was like the well lit area, and I don't know. I like the old room. It could have used it. I would have rather they just spruced it up down there rather than just move it upstairs to where there I guess used to just be slots. Um, but when it first opened in 2019, I remember it not being very well lit, and then I didn't go there for like almost two and a half, no, like a year and a half. I didn't go. I went once in 2019 because I wasn't playing there a lot. I was playing up in New Hampshire mostly and Twin River, so I wasn't going to Foxwoods a lot. This is 2019, and yeah, I played it after a concert there. I forget what was the concert. We went with our Jana's sister and now ex-husband. Oh, it was Weird Al. We went to go see Weird Al, and then yeah, boo. I'm playing. Am I playing too tight? I gotta wait for a. I don't have a lot of. I can't just waste a blind like that. Yeah, so I remember going after a concert and a few beers and whatever, and played for. I remember the only thing I remember. I think I broke even or lost a small amount of money. I don't think I didn't play badly, but I should have been up like 200 like right off the jump. I think did I have King 10. Flop came 10-10-X. I had King 10, got called by 8-10, and it ended up, I think they just ended up like four on the turn, four on the river, or something like that to chop it. And I was just so like annoyed by that because I hadn't played a Foxes in a while, and that stuff would happen a lot to me. I mean, and it was probably because I wasn't that great of a player up until like I started reading and studying more. I don't think this is a jam, but this is going to be close to it. Well, if a jam, we could call off with a hand like this. All right. Renels hasn't like really called us. I don't know. That was that other hand where he tanked and folded. Like why? What is taking so long here? I feel like he can't hear me, but well, maybe he can. Maybe he's watching. Renels are on a 5 minute delay. You don't have that kind of time. You don't have to have that kind of time, Meg. Yeah, I remember being so upset. That stuff would happen a lot to me when I was younger, like in my 20s, playing No Limit downstairs at Foxwoods. Probably because I play a little too wide, or I get tilted and I start like trying to bully people out of pots who weren't going anywhere, or I play tighter and like, or I'd call off. Like I never knew when to call, and certainly I never knew when my opponents were bluffing. I wasn't studying. I just was thinking that if I could like watch them, and if they look down at their cards, or they, make a move toward their chips and they're bluffing, and it's like, why wouldn't I just think about like what cards they could have, like what card removal, combinations of cards, ranges. Like I always understood the concept of putting an opponent on a range of hands and then like kind of cutting it down as the hand progresses. Like I knew the concept, but I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know where to start and where to end. So I'm going off on a tangent. Basically, I went to Foxwoods today to maintain my tier status. My first two times at the room back in 2019, and then early, yeah. So I was like really like upset that I wasn't up $200 because we were there, and the Scott and Jill and Jonna were all still like hanging out drinking. If I had just won the 200, I could have like played for like an hour, left up $100 to $200 in theory, and just gone and joined them and had a good night. Instead, now I'm grinding it out right up until last call. I get like one beer, and then we just go to bed, and it's just like a miserable like grinded out like night when I didn't want it to be. That's on me. I could have just left after that, but I didn't. And then yeah, then I played that spring March of 2020. March, it was like beginning of March. I got that free room. Oh, and I think John and I went down. So we were gonna. That's right. So I played there a few times before the shutdown. I think no, maybe not. So I didn't tell the story. Yeah, we were gonna have to play another tournament after this because actually, if we bust out now, which I don't, I hope I don't, then we should have a minute or two to get into the micro roller. Is that right? 8:15 p.m. micro roller. I don't. Do they call it that here? I feel like I wrote down the wrong name for the tournament. So what do we have for games? It's an SC 250 mic. That 250 guaranteed, so it's 3.3. The micro. I called it the micro roller. That was silly. I can't call off with 8-7, right? This guy hasn't. This guy's folded pretty snugly. All right. Well, so that's gonna be. I mean, now if we raise, if we open, then we just have to call off. So we have to make sure whatever we open with right now is going to be a call off. So it's really just min click it to 2, and if it gets 3 bet to 6, 5 even, that's more than a third. Well, if it gets 3 because it would be 14 left. No, 2, 14, 14 left. So 2 to 3. So 3, it would be really a. I guess it would be less than. It'd be like more like 20%. A little bit less than, like 20 to 21, 22% of our stack. So we could min click it to 2 and call a 3 bet. But it should really be. That's kind of tight. It should really be a hand that we want to call off with. Oh, this stinks. I am so sorry for the horrible content during this whole Grizzly stuff. Like, I feel like I've just made so many mistakes. But we'll get better. So I got the free room. March. It was like March 1st. It was like a Sunday. of 2020. I got the free room and I went and just me. Jonna stayed home. She had to work the next morning. I just went and played, and I don't even think I played the next morning because I lost $200, and I was just like feeling so sorry for myself. I forget what that was. That was a weird thing where this older guy was in a side pot. Like I went all in with probably tens or something with for like a 80 or $80, and I got called by two players, and had I tripled up, I think had I tripled up, I would have been all right. I would have had 240. It would have been probably up money because I think I used to buy in for like 200 back then because I didn't have a big bankroll, and I was so afraid of getting stacked. So I just like were buying for 200, which you didn't really need more than that at Foxwoods. Yeah, there's players there with full stacks, but you're not. I mean, the odds of you getting it in with any like it, that game just doesn't get the money doesn't get in the middle like 2-5 does there. It's kind of night and day. So I think I was on a three-way all in, and I remember I had probably like tens or something, and the board was like a high pair on the board, and then all undercards, and I think there was maybe a backdoor like heart draw that hit. So there was like hands out there, but it was like somewhat possible. I think I must have had to have improved. Did I have trips? That couldn't be right. I I would have been way more upset if I had flopped a set. I must have had like king 10 or queen 10 or something and hit trips, but there was like the board was pretty wet and maybe I was up against a boat. Trips were involved. Anyway, there was a dispute. I'm like sitting there like they weren't showing. Like they weren't like they're like whatever. Like this older guy had gone all in for this. Um, I think the older guy had called off a bet that the other villain, the younger like middle aged guy, had bet, and he called to get like for the main pot. But then on the side pot, the older guy put him in, and he didn't show his cards, and he was like in like, I'm all in. So I'm like, hey, like, what's going on here? Now I'm thinking like that neither one of them's going to show. I'm thinking I'm good. And the old guy's just like, "What? I called you." No, it's like, "No, you called for the side. You were the aggressor. You have to open up for the side. It's the two of you." And he ended up like, "Ooh, look," and then he ended up like showing a boat or something. Like, I think the middle aged guy like finally capitulated and was like showing it, and then he just like, "Well, whatever. I'll show whatever. It's that important to you." And then the older guy shows like a boat or something, or he won that. He won the pot. He had it, I think, and I was just like, come on, guy. Like, I think I said something like that, and some guy to my right was like kind of chirping him too. He's like, what? What? He's like, you needed to show first. It's your, you know. It's like, oh, I called it. It's like, no, but that was in the main pot. There was a whole other round of bet. It was the stupidest thing. And I was just kind of like sulking, and I just kind of like, I just left. I'm like, well, I got a hotel room at the probably at the Two Trees or something. Yeah, I was at Two Trees. I was just like, get some Johnny Rockets. I'll go on the shuttle and just like eat my sorrows away and pass out. Here we go. In a good spot too. Ooh. Oh. So how do we get? I mean, we want obviously we got to get it in. I kind of hope it folds to us. That would be so great. Uh, I mean, I'm jumping ahead. We'll get there when we get there. Okay, so how do we get this money in? Do we just 3x it or 5x it and make it look like we just gotta? I don't know. We just gotta hope he wants to call it off, and he thinks that we have nothing. Ah, like we can't just call there. That's the only move, right? That was. I wanted to just get something out of this, and it's so ridiculous. Like we should honestly be playing no hands right now until it's so dumb because these are two legit bounties. So what? I mean, the bounty is 50% of your buy-in, right? So I'm not just so I we know what we're doing here. Regular bounty fee. So yeah, it's 5 coins, 5 sweeps. This is a bounty. Eliminate another player to win their bounty. Win the tournament to win your own. It's not a PKO. It's a super bounty, which I would assume. Oops, shoot. Sorry. Um, Watch him jam now. Yep. and then Renell's is just gonna call because it's a bounty. Oh, that sucks. He's gonna steal my bounty. Oh no! I knew it. I this stuff always happens. If I jammed, obviously. Oh, and he wins. Whoo! Thank you, thank you. Oh, I was gonna be so upset because had I jammed, unless well, we would have beaten this dude. He would have folded, I bet. King four, if I had jammed. Wow. Well, we would have still been in it, but we dodged a major bullet, if nothing else. And I mean, if I guess if he had called, we would have won. I think that was the right play. For that bounty, though. Okay, so these are the things that I make these mistakes. I think even though I avoided um, potential disaster, see now he's just gonna like now everybody's just gonna go after his money. Does 3-7 get there? No, no six. He's got yeah, unreal. Short stack at the table, and this guy just like um, quintupled him up in two hands. Now he's now he's got life. Well, whatever. We wouldn't have won the bounty either way. We'd probably have more chips, but I think that was the right play. Um, and maybe not, but my mindset was we have these two dead stacks here. But yeah, then it's really just a gamble that we have a good hand and we're the ones to get it in. Odds are it's going to be someone like in the blinds that gets it in with them. Ace deuce off though, is that a jam in that spot where we have a bigger stack behind us behind that could just be bounty hunting with king queen suited and smash a flop or an eight or a better ace. Any ace is probably in there, right? So we're not going to get like do we get ace deuce through like ace seven to fold? I don't know. MJ online, what a guy. Hey, Dax here. I don't know how long you've been there, Dak. I was in the middle of a couple of hands and also telling lame ass Foxwood stories. But yeah, so this old guy wouldn't open up and he ended up showing and he won. And then I was at Johnny Rockets waiting for my burger. Or I don't know if I had just gotten my order. I don't know. I was waiting for my order and I ran into him and I I was not in a mood to get into any kind of confrontation, which I'm not usually in real life when I'm around people. I usually like, what, don't upset the herd. Let's just get say whatever we gotta say and go home. I don't want any trouble, which I should do in throughout my life in everything. But we'll get to that another time. So he just comes up to me, and I'm kind of half expecting him to say something like, "Hey, I'm sorry for like kind of slow rolling it," um, uh, which I guess was a little bit too much for me to expect. And so I think he said something like he had uh, he had a 10, or something. I don't know. It was so random and silly and so pointless. Like, why would he think that I cared? He said something like like he told me like an observation that he had, like, oh yeah, that in that hand, so and so had the 10, I had the thing, and I'm sitting here like I know, like I was there. I think maybe the other guy like flashed a card and I don't know, but he had a boat and I saw that he had a boat and I walked away. Like I didn't really sit there and analyze the hand. I was pissed off. I had lost my money. And I was hungry and just wanted to go. So I left. And he's like, "Yeah, the other guy had the 10. Hey, he had the straight." And I'm like thinking like, "Yeah, okay. I had trips." Like I was like, I just said, "Oh," and I just grabbed whatever I was getting there and walked away. But I was like, "Oh, this is just so miserable." Remember that just being like probably the most miserable time. I mean, I've been to Foxwoods and had some like bad days, Not as much anymore. Today was kind of a grind because I went there. I got there at like 9. So I was like, you know what? I'm getting up. It's like a work day. I'm going to get up, get ready, and leave the house like 7:45. Like, just treat this like a work day. And it was like so miserable. Um, I guess it wasn't bad. It wasn't the worst poker session ever, but I don't think I played my best. But I also took some. There was a hand I called too wide, and there was a hand I called off when I probably should have like considered it a little bit more. But it was kind of a BS run out. I thought my two pair had held up. It was one of those bet big raise, and I just have to like flick in the call. Like I didn't even really think about it. Anyway, I'll tell you about that later. Yeah, so that was early March of 2020, and it was probably one of the most miserable. Like there was just no air in the place. There weren't that many tables going. It was Sunday night. At least I don't remember there being that. It was a blur kind of. And I just remember thinking, God, why do I do this? Like this is just so like I'm here. I'm not even hanging out with my girlfriend at the time. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go stay over at Foxwoods tonight and play poker and sulk. It's just like what it was even. I felt like I was just so lost in the game. Like I knew how to play and I played, but I just wasn't getting any traction anywhere. So like I go blow $200 and it's like it's wicked annoying. And I don't think I even had much of a bankroll. Um, Jonna was kind of supporting me at the time. Probably shouldn't have just gone and lost $200. She probably didn't love that, but it was a free hotel room, and she was like, "Yeah, cool. If you want to go, fine." So it's not like it was kind of a mini poker roll. Like, yeah, I kind of loose cash. It's $200, and that's probably all I brought. Oh golly, I think we can still. I think we just get it in because of the stack sizes and hope Ronell's just doesn't have anything. It's so stupid. Why did I do that? It's a bounty. All right, well that's cool. Low pairs kind of suck in this game, but you know what? I think with the two small stacks, Rennell's. I mean, he's been kind of roller coaster, so he would probably have a very good. Oh yeah, this stack is dead. Well, whatever. So we got somebody we know is going to fold. We got a short stack, and we got somebody who's kind of a little bit rattled. I think a little roller coaster of emotions probably. And then I went one other time before the pandemic hit with Jonna because we were supposed to go to Las Vegas the week of March 17th. We were gonna fly there on St. I think it was we were gonna fly there on. I thought we were gonna fly there on St. Patrick's Day. I think. Um, and we were gonna do a day trip to California. We were gonna fly out on St. Patrick's Day. It was like a morning flight. We are gonna get there at like noon. It's gonna be awesome. We're just gonna like land in Vegas and like boom, St. Patrick's Day. I did that once, probably about 10 years ago, a little longer. We flew out, but we went. It was like it had to be like a late afternoon flight because I think we went to, or no, it was like an early evening flight. I think might have been like 6 o'clock because I remember I think we went to the parade that day. Went to the like St. Patrick's Day parade. Was it on? It couldn't have been on St. Patrick's Day though. I think St. Patrick's Day was the next night, or maybe not. I don't know. It was. I'll have to look up the year and what day it fell on, but I think it was like right before. Anyway, whatever. 2020 pandemic. We were gonna fly out on St. Patrick's Day. We were gonna chill on Monday. I don't think the plan was to do much of anything. Probably just like kind of settle in because we were gonna get there like noon or mid early afternoon and probably just like go right to like partying and drinking right out of the gate, and then the next day we were just gonna probably chill. But I had kind of like a happy hour like afternoon thing kind of semi planned at Flamingo. Like I don't know if it was like a Margaritaville there or a place like that. Probably. Because I think we were staying at Flamingo. So I figured, whatever, you can chill. Well, might as well go in and have happy hour in the hotel. Your room's right there if you get too sloshed. So that was going to be Monday. Tuesday was my brother's birthday. Well, yeah, Tuesday would have been my brother's birthday. and we actually had tickets to go see the Stars and the Golden Knights at T-Mobile Arena. And then I think Wednesday we were gonna do a trip, the day trip to California to visit with her friend. And then I think Thursday we were gonna red eye. So does that make sense? That doesn't make sense. I think we were maybe gonna stay over Thursday and then leave Friday because whatever we didn't have no kids or anything. Our cats, we had a babysitter for the cats. That was gonna be a full trip, but yeah, and my brother and sister-in-law are there, so spending an extra day or two. Because usually people go to Vegas. I feel like for 3 days, we went for like five. We were gonna go for like five and a half, which I've done before. It's not bad. Um, so we're waiting for other tables to finish. What is this? The end of the? Nope. This is the 9 o'clock break. We've long since passed the rebuy period, right? Yeah. So this is it. 384 out of 476. All's not lost. We have not. We are not out of this thing. We have 10 bigs. We should still have 10 bigs. Is the clock running? Oh, we're waiting for other tables to finish, so the clock is running. Um, so we'll still have a little bit left in this level, I think, when we get back. We're gonna we gotta get a bounty. We got a guy to our left who's been somewhat active, and you know what? These two are gonna go in. So if we have a decent enough hand, okay. So we're 2 minutes and 45 seconds from getting started. I don't think I'm gonna take a. I think I'm just gonna play. I don't think I'm gonna take a break. I'm just gonna keep talking for the next couple minutes. Um, so that was going to be the Vegas trip, but that got canceled. So that Sunday and Monday, we decided to, we decided to take. I actually had gotten another offer, which was weird. I was getting these offers in 2019 because I don't think I played that much at Foxwoods. Maybe we had stayed in the hotel a couple times, and I booked it, through my rewards card. Um, Maybe because of that and the show tickets we'd buy, maybe that's why I was getting hotel offers. Um, I don't know, but I took them. So then that Sunday and Monday, instead of going to Vegas, we just went to we just took we just spent 2 nights at Foxwoods. But COVID was really starting to settle in. Like they've canceled the trip because of COVID, but we were like, you know what? We're cool. We're healthy. We don't really know what this thing is yet. Let's just go down to Foxwoods and just try to take our mind off of it. So we did that, and you know what? That Sunday we stayed there. We checked into two trees in, which was kind of like, it's fine. It's 2 trees in. We stay there all the time, but it's not as like newer. Like some of the hotels in Foxwoods, like the Grand Pequot Tower and the Fox Tower, at least at the time, a little bit newer. Where 2 trees is kind of like, it's 2 trees, whatever. And that first day, that Sunday, we were there. We just kind of walked around. I played blackjack for a little bit, had a few beers. But there was just this vibe in this. We played in the casino. Those the Grand. I think it's Grand Pequot, like right outside of Guy Fieri's, which is generally like a really nice place to gamble, especially kind of like during the day or early evening. There's like a lot of natural light that comes in, and even at night, it's very well lit. It's a nice area. I like that casino. It's probably one of my favorites. And we were just playing. I was just playing blackjack there, but there was just this vibe. Like everybody, I feel like was anybody wearing masks? I don't know. Like it was just you didn't want to touch anything. You just kind of wanted to stay there and be in your bubble and people were smoking. It's Fox with this casino. But I remember like playing that for a couple hours and then just gonna be cashing out my chips. Like I think I maybe bought him for 100, won 100. It's like, all right. I took the two black chips, put them in my pocket. We kind of walked around for a few minutes. I think even walked by the poker room, and they were like, you know what? Let's just. I didn't want to play because I'm like, you know what? Poker with this is probably the worst game just because you're touching everything and chips and cards. Players are like closely. They're all facing each other closely, kind of, seated at a table, and it just felt like if there was this COVID or coronavirus, if that did exist, I might even drink Corona that night. Ridiculous. Um, I just felt like it was like, you know what, if it exists anywhere in this place, then oh wow, two bounties for Lear. Sick. What a hand. Bang bang. Free buy. Basically a free buy-in. Well, we still have these two morons who forgot that they signed up for this tournament. So yeah, so we that Sunday at Foxwoods we didn't really do we did that and like okay, well walked by the poker room, didn't wasn't feeling it. I'm like, you know what? Last time I played there a couple weeks ago was miserable anyway, and it's like whatever. I don't even like the room, the new room. I didn't like it at the time, and so we went back to the room, watched TV, went to sleep, got up the next day, and we were so. I was kind of debating. I had money to play poker. I had the black chips. I'm like, well, I'm up a little bit in blackjack. I could just go play poker for a little bit, but I was so unmotivated to go. I just like didn't want to do anything. And then like something we couldn't get back into our room after like going and get something for breakfast and it was something with the lock or either that or we couldn't leave the room because it wouldn't lock behind us. There was something where like a maintenance guy like a special maintenance guy had to come to the room and like sit there with the door open and just like fix our stupid door locking mechanism. So we didn't want to just leave the room while he was doing that. So that took a couple hours, and it was so like it wasn't that awkward. We were just watching TV or like whatever. This guy's just he's like you couldn't even really see him. He was like it's one of those rooms where there's like the bathroom is like next to the bed and the but so he's kind of like around a corner. Wasn't bothering us, so we just hung out. But so we didn't that whole Monday. We had the room the next night. We didn't leave until Tuesday morning. We just didn't leave the room on Monday because we were so like I don't know. I think we drove like probably a half hour to this restaurant to like pick up like takeout food because I don't know why we didn't just maybe we want or we were gonna venture out and eat out and then we were just like you know what let's just get takeout because if we're gonna maybe start like we don't want to we don't want to risk it. It's not worth it. Like, and we were probably like tired anyway of just sitting around the room all day. How like boring that was. Oh. So it's one big. So next hand, this guy's gonna be in. So we definitely okay. So we're out. MJ online. What a guy. I want Dak, if you're still out there, I think MJ should figure out a way to get that Ignition tournament on live on a streaming app, streaming service, a streaming platform, if you will. Am I in? Got it. Okay. So we're just hanging around with eight big blinds here and just praying that the good thing about it, I mean, we have eight big blinds. I'm not like whatever is going to happen happens, but let's get this guy sevens. All right. We got a plate. We have a hand. We have a hand that we could just jam with and isolate with the bounty here, and maybe Wild Chicken is asleep at the wheel. Well, he's gonna try, and he's not gonna get me out. Well, he's not gonna force me out anyway. All right, we got an all in. We got a bounty shot here. This is how we have to do it because. Oh, please just fold. Just king 10. Okay, I don't know. They don't show. I hate how they don't do that, but he doesn't have it, right? Yes. Oh, that is that is fantastic. We were so we're in this thing for $49 worth of $11 $49 worth of 11 sweeps coin tickets, which is 5 tickets. We're at a little discount, but we didn't haven't turned anything into cash until this very moment. We have 5 sweeps coins back in our account off of one bounty, and the cool thing is we have another one coming up. It's gonna be about 8 hands. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 6, 7, 8. It's gonna be about 8 hands. Because he's gonna put in a tenth of a big blind, and he's got over 8/10. So it's going to be about 8 hands until he's in. So, but we have just under 15 big blinds. We don't have to get. We don't have to do anything unless we get a premium. Um, I don't know. Is there something wrong with my app that I can't see? There has to be something wrong. On this desktop, I don't, and I don't think I have that problem. Or maybe I do. I haven't seen it. Like on the mobile app, I haven't noticed it where like a snooze player goes all in. I cannot see. I see like a shadow of one of their cards, like this, like it, and it's even lighter. And the other card I don't see. So now I have to sit here and guess on what they have. And it probably displays. Yeah, I'm sure it displays. Do. So who was the guy I eliminated? Atlantis. So we had. He has a pair. So he must have had 5, 6. I don't know. He was all. He could have had anything. So I know what hand he had. He only had a pair of fives. I had 3 of a kind, of course. We must have just gone up. So you know what? I wasn't even focusing. So we've gotten 5 sweeps coins out of this. So we're only in this for 44, which is great. Um, Deck attack. Um, I don't know how many we're paying. So what do we got? We're one. Oh, that would break us even for the turn. 180. We're at 259, and 180 get paid. So we got some. We can maneuver. We've got some potential here, but I want that next bounty. That's the cool thing. Even if we had misses, which we didn't, we made it. But we still have this one out there pending. So you just gotta hope for the right spot when he's all in. I mean, I was fortunate there. I'm one of like 7 other players. I just happen to have the best hand that one. I needed it. I can't really complain. Obviously, you want to get sets when you're like big stack versus big stack for a bounty, but no, we needed that. We got a bounty, and um, we more than doubled. Excuse me. And now we're in much better position. But I mean, it could all be one hand. It could all. I think we just want to wait, unless we get a premium, of course. But even then, we'll be in late position. We can kind of see what's ahead of us. Aces or kings, obviously, is getting it in, but yeah. So we're not going to do anything out of line until Palimony goes all in. and we just hope that we can enter the pot. Because if we can walk away from this, we're really only in this thing. It's less than 10 sweeps on average for these tickets, so we're really in this for minus the fee and a little. So if we get another bounty, we technically would have profited off this one event. That's something. It's not our immediate goal was to win 50 and get our investment back. Which is still in play here. A min cash is 7.44. Still be a small profit, but a small profit at that. It's not until, this is a 10K guaranteed, so bounties take up half of it, but you're not into the 100. You'd have to make the final table, and then is the final table 8? You'd have to make it the top 8 to win 100 or more. So, but in these, it really, I don't have a ton of experience in this problem. In these, it's really all about the bounties. At some point, you're just going to be chugging along, and you're going to have to knock people out in order to stay in. Or at the very least, double up. Okay, so we got Haas. He's got to be good. Ooh. Ace 9, Ace 4. Well, you're not getting a 4. And it doesn't matter. Oh. Spades. I forgot about spades, but still. Oh, what happened to our guy? They moved him? You kidding? Is that for real? Oh my God. That's gross. He was going to be the next big blind. Okay. So yeah, okay. So for those of you watching who may not be familiar with what we're doing here, we're in a super bounty or a bounty tournament where each player buys in for 11 sweeps coins, which is the equivalent of $11. $1 goes to the house. One coin goes to the house. 5 goes into the prize pool, which will be split up based on where you finish, and 5 goes on your head, so to speak, as a bounty. So if somebody knocks you out, they get that 5. I knocked a player out about 5-10 minutes ago, and got 5 right in my account. So there's incentives to knock individual players out. Not that there isn't already, but the focus kind of shifts from accumulating chips to actually eliminating a player. So it changes the dynamic a little bit. at least we made something back. We invested $49 into tickets for this series and got 55 sweeps coins worth of tickets back, each in $11 coin increments. So this is an 11. My fifth of five 11 coin tickets. We're trying to play a little snugly here. Okay, so the blinds just went up. Okay, so we've got a hand that we can get it in with here, one way or the other. We can either call it off, or we do have an opportunity for a bounty, but we're up against a dead stack. So this is not going to be that kind of a hand, but we want to double up and stay alive in this thing. We're just going to get it in and hope that Haas. We've seen him do. Oh, ow, wow, okay, ouch, that sucks. Yep. Well, he just happened to have the goods there. One bounty. Well, and thus ends our foray into the Grizzly Games. In for 49, out for 5. Such is life. Oh. Let's try to jump into one more game here and maybe actually do something. Although the way I've been playing lately, Super 11, I don't think we want to do the Super 11. That doesn't, yeah. Global Poker home game, 2 rebuys, 1 add-on turbo. Oh, that could be good. How many, where are we? Late registration, 15 minutes. It started 8 minutes ago. All right. Two rebuys. We start with, what do we start with? 3,000 blinds. I mean, where are we at now? 8 minutes ago, 5. We're at 24. Okay, so let's get in. Oh, we need a password. That stinks. Home game. Oh, we gotta go on Twitch. Okay. You know what? Let's see what else is out there. There's a night brawl, a rebuy. It closes. It just started at 9:15. Goes to 9:45. That could go pretty late. This is kind of one of those weird in between times. Do we do like a crazy pineapple? I don't think that starts. Let's see. Maybe it starts in 26 minutes. If something starts in like 5 or 10 minutes, we could just take a break. All right, let's see if we can get the. Where's the Global Poker Live? Whoops. How do you just say password? I don't know if that's it. How does one come on. Why? All right, so I'm freezing up a little bit here. It's probably like a big okay. Well, let's try. Right. Let's see if it works. Just all right. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I think I might just call it. We tried. Um, Not really sure. It is Friday night. Or not really sure when the next one will be. Probably by next weekend. Got a home game tomorrow. Didn't really tell you about my day at Foxwoods today. It was boring, and I lost $100. Um, got a home game tomorrow. Next weekend, I'm gonna try to host a home game, but it doesn't sound like that's happening. I don't think I'm even gonna like ask players tomorrow. I kind of just don't feel like it. And plus, my neck has been hurting me, so I might just like sit it out. Um, yeah, we might just do one. Try